Boys to Men program. Okay, now who do you have here? Let me just have you speak right into the mic here.
Yes, sir, Brother Darvon.
Brother Darvon, what's going on, man?
I'm doing fine, yes, sir. Just
Yeah.
wrapping up our portion of today's event. I'm doing the PowerPoint presentation that we did with the young children today.
Okay, but a little closer to that. Now, what PowerPoint presentation? What did you do?
Basically, we did a portion called or a presentation called "Without Education, What Path Will I Follow?" Basically, it's again, we basically showed the children, it's a visual experience, and basically showing what we know and what we are being taught versus what we're not being taught in reference to ourselves.
Now, give us an example.
Like, perfect example, as black men, when it comes to education, we don't know too many important or prominent figures that actually contributed to society. Like, for example, we have Imhotep. He was one of the first known physicians and surgeons of his day. He was known as a demigod as well at the time of his death.
A demigod.
A demigod. They looked at him and worshipped him as a god.
That's what I thought you meant, demigod.
Yes,
okay.
sir. But at the same time, the reason why we chose him is also a young brother named Tony Hansberry. At the age of 14, he developed a new way to basically prevent injuries for hysterectomies. So we were basically tying the two together. This man lived thousands of years ago, and he created these new ways of of science or medicine. But you also have somebody today in 2016 who's doing the same thing. But we're taught that as black people, our DNAs are connected, are intertwined through our DNA. It tells our story. And for him to be able to come up, at 14 years old and come out with the surgical technique is a perfect example of where we come from and who we are.
And then you're teaching these young men this, and I can imagine that this is the first time they're hearing of this, because actually it's the first time I'm hearing of this.
Right.
So that's amazing. What do you think that does to these young men to hear these parallels?
I would say, just based off of the response alone, it just opens their eyes to a whole new way of thinking.
Okay.
Like a whole new reality. Like we do have because again, in our communities, education is frowned upon. Like, with the brothers that's in the streets, you got picked on or clowned for having good grades or having decent grades in passing.
Now, do you think that's still the case in 2017?
I believe it is, but at the same time, I have ran into some brothers that you would call so-called street, and they do support and they are pushing to become more conscious, to become more educated.
Now, you're part of the nation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the nation is known for reaching out and helping our community,
right,
let alone just our youth. So this is part of the nation, or is this part of your personal mission to do this?
I would say no. This has nothing to do. This is not necessarily a Nation of Islam type of an event or a thing. I would say this is something that I'm doing personally.
Okay.
To just give back. There's many different things that we could do. Like, we're taught that again, it's so much work that needs to be done. Is just get up and go do it. So this is just one of the many different lanes to try to be effective in our community, especially with our youth.
And then this is the third year of this program. So have you been with the program each of those 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, that's good. That's good. So it's actually making a difference from your perspective? Are you seeing it make a difference, or there's not enough time or data in yet?
That's what I would say. For the most part, in dealing with the individuals that I have worked with, yes, there has been. But I can't speak for someone else. You know what I mean? Their experience may be different.
Yeah.
But I would say the individuals that I've came across and have dealt with and have a relationship with, absolutely.
Good.
Because with change, or I would say just maturity, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes it may take 1 year, it may take 2, it may take 3 to 4 years or 5 years.
Okay,
but
now, if someone's tuning in right now and they hear us talking and whatever, what could they do? It may be too late for them to take part in this program today, but what could we do to further our young men as they mature into adulthood?
Our brothers and sisters first need to understand and know that there are other avenues out there to help. And like, again, for those who don't have fathers in their lives, this is a Boys to Men conference for just that. For those individuals who don't have fathers, well, you have big brothers. You have father-like figures that are out here to help.
A lot of people are scared to approach young men now. I mean, between the violence that we hear about, or parents who would get very violent as you're even approaching their kid or talking to them or trying to chastise them in any way,
Right.
is that something we could still do in this day and age, or do you just let it go?
I believe absolutely. But the thing is that everybody needs to come to the table and know exactly what they're dealing with, and knowing exactly what's going on. So, and if people want their children to be involved, they have to be involved as well, so that they can develop the trust that they need to have in order to allow their children to be mentored by people in the sense that, like you're saying, that they don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
And us as a people, we've all the relationships that we've had, I would say pretty much so, majority of relationships we have has always been a negative one.
Yeah.
But I would say today, I mean, this is exactly why we're doing that, to show them just because you've had bad experiences in the past doesn't necessarily mean that that's your only reality.
Right, absolutely. Listen, brother, I appreciate what you're doing with this program. I appreciate you
Yes,
coming
sir.
down and sitting down and talking with us.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Listen,